Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Keswick Ripple Podcast. My name is Jim Lang. I'm the Director of Guest Services here at America's Keswick, and each week we want to bring you a testimony that we hope encourages your heart and life. One of the most dynamic parts of our ministry is that when a man or woman comes into one of our programs and is radically changed by the gospel of Jesus Christ, they're then sent back out to their churches, their families, and their communities, and God uses them in a mighty way. And so today I want to introduce you to Chris. Chris is in the Colony program right now. He's actually getting ready to graduate this Sunday. We're so proud of Chris and all that God's doing in his life. And so thank you for taking a little time out to share your story.
Absolutely.
So why don't you start out by just telling everyone what life was like before coming to the Colony?
Well, it seemed pretty normal, my life. I have 3 kids, a wife, but things just started spiraling out of control. You know, it was my marriage wasn't great, and then physically, I just started falling apart. You know, and then my marriage not being good affects my kids, and you know, so with the grace of God, I was never hurt, didn't hurt anybody. But it was just a physical thing, and then of course my marriage just completely falling apart, and hopefully I'll be getting it back on track.
So how did you hear about the Colony, and what finally kind of made you decide to come?
Well, my cousin is at Calvary in Old Bridge.
Okay.
And he, through his contacts with the church, he brought me here. They sat me down. My whole family was in my house, and I was given an ultimatum, basically. And I had other options, but running it through in my mind, and at the time I wasn't in the right state of mind. But when I looked at my children and my family sitting there, I could picture it right now. I knew I had to do something. And I've always had I went to Catholic school, so I always knew who God was, and I always knew that He was there. I just didn't have a good relationship with Him. I didn't have a relationship with Him. So it was then that I decided that night to come here, to say yes.
Awesome. So what, over the last 4 months, what do you think the main thing God's been teaching you while you've been here?
Patience, humility. And faith. You know, a lot of times now when I'm feeling a certain way, if I'm feeling down, or I have faith that everything is going to be fine in my marriage, whichever way God wants it to go, you know. And then the patience, it's going through the Colony and dealing with different types of people, and you know, and then there's the patience thing with my marriage also. So
one of the cool things is there's a program called Families for Christ where you're able to come here and get some counseling with your wife, and so why don't you tell the folks kind of how Families for Christ has helped you and your marriage while you've been here?
Oh, it was great. The counseling with Juan and Diara Mendez was excellent. They were great contacting with my wife, and then being able to have my children here at the Polar Escape, that was just, it's great. It's a great time to reconnect, to have them counsel us, be together, and Jim, you were there, that you were part of that. So it's just a great thing. If anybody would, I'm trying to think of the right word. If anybody would need it, if they needed to reconnect with and get their families straightened out, as I would say, this is definitely the way to go.
So more than likely than not, there's probably someone watching today who's struggling with addiction, who's kind of in a messy situation. What would you say to them today?
I would say that God lives at Keswick. Obviously He's all around, but especially here with the people that are here. It's just a great place. I don't even think you need to be an addict to come here, just to reconnect with God or to find Him. It really is a special place.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chris, for sharing a little bit of your story. We hope Chris's testimony was an encouragement to your heart and life. We will see you next week. Have a great day.